Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to learn chapter 1 units and measurement of physics of diploma engineering SEM 1. So let's get started without any delay. Introduction. Measurement. What is measurement? Why do we feel the need to measure something and how do we do it? So measurement consists of comparison of an unknown quantity with a known fixed quantity. So, for example, say if I ask you to measure the length of the window in your house, how will you do it? You will use a measurement tape. Okay, so measurement tape is a known fixed quantity. It measures length, and the unit used is meter or centimeter depending upon the size of the window. So the window is an unknown quantity. We don't know how much is the length. We don't know. That's why we use a measure meter tape, and this is called as measurement. In engineering, measurement is required at a large scale as for every small thing we require measurements. For example, for civil engineering, building a bridge, you have to take minute measurements as only and only then can the bridge be stable and it will take the load of the vehicles going about it. In engineering, we have to check that the thing we have created, we have engineered, is it fit for the job or not? This can be proved with the help of measurements. There are various examples, but the most important would be for chemicals, chemical engineering. So if you add indefinite amount of a chemical, a certain chemical to a reaction, you don't know what will happen. But in order to know what will happen or draw conclusions from it, you have to measure the amount of chemical added, like sodium chloride, how it is formed by HCl and NaOH. NaOH plus HCl, when we combine them, NaO, NaCl is formed, salt, common salt. The ratio should be maintained. Say if I take an indefinite amount of sodium, such as 1 liter of sodium and 10 milliliter of hydrochloric acid, will it work? No, it won't. So measurement is very necessary for it. So the accuracy of measurement depends upon two things: the method of measurement and the measuring instrument. Say if you take a wrong instrument for measuring, or the scale of the instrument you are using is not fit for the job. Like if you use a ruler, the one we use to draw lines on our notebook to measure the window, which I asked you in the previous example, the measurement won't be accurate. And in engineering, we need accurate measurement. Physics have developed because of accuracy in the measurement. Okay, let's move on to our next slide. So the example, another example we will take. Length of the table is 3 meters. Suppose you have a table at your house and the length of it is 3 meters. What would you do? The How can we understand this? Magnitude and the standard, the unit. Here, 3 meters is the main part that we need to focus. For here, the 3 is the magnitude, and meter is the standard unit used. The magnitude tells us that how many times the standard is our measurement. Like here, it tells us that the table is 3 times the standard value of meter. Okay, so magnitude is a digit, you can say easily, and standard means like 1 meter or 1 centimeter units, which don't change, fixed. Okay, and these standards need to be universally accepted, as if they won't be universally accepted, then it would cause very much confusion in between the minds of the people who are dealing. Okay, so let's move on to our first point in the chapter: unit, physical quantity. The first sub point of it, unit of a physical quantity. Great names. So any physical quantity can be measured and represented in terms of number and unit. Like we seen in the past one, that 3 meter, 3 was the number here. As we can see here, 3 is the number and meter is the unit. So any physical quantity can be measured and represented in terms of numbers and unit. So what is a unit? What might be the definition of unit? Unit, the standard used for measurement of a physical quantity, is called unit of that quantity. The standard, like a standard used for measurement of a physical quantity. Physical quantity is any quantity which can be measured. Okay. So the standard used for measurement of that quantity is called unit of that quantity. Like here, for example, we have meter, centimeter, grams, kilograms for mass. Then we have seconds, minutes for time. Okay, these are called units. Now, there are certain requirements for defining a unit. For making a standard unit, there are certain requirements. Let us see what are those. It is first, it should be universally accepted. Like we can't make units locally. Like say, if in your society you make a new unit, and in my society I make a new unit, then how can we trade with each other? It won't be possible for us to trade with each other, as we won't know how to compare our goods, and how can it be measured in your unit or in my unit. Okay, so it should be universally accepted. Everyone should agree that okay, so we will measure using meters, or we will measure using grams, which is already established. It should be definite and well defined. Like it shouldn't be vague, like this much. It shouldn't be that 1 meter is this much. Okay, it shouldn't be like that. It should be well defined and definite. It should be invariable with time and space, place, and uh, irrespective of the physical change. Like say, let me give you an example. Say if you have a plastic ruler, if you use it in summer, if you use it to measure the if you use it to measure the certain say compost box, your compost box, if you use it to measure your compost box, say in summer it is 10 centimeter. In winter, when the climate is different, will it be different? Will it be 12 centimeter, or will it reduce to 8 centimeter? No, it will be 10 centimeter only, because the measurement, the scale won't reduce or expand, the meters won't reduce or expand based upon time, place. Like you take the same compost and go to UK or USA and measure it there. Will it change? No, it will still remain 10 centimeter. Take 10 grams of gold and go to some distant country, measure it there, it will still be 10 grams. So the units which are defined should not change with time or place. Like you measured it today, it is 10 centimeter. After 3 years, it should be 10 centimeter. It won't change. That's why it's a standard unit. It should be easily reproducible and non-perishable. Like we are manufacturing plastic rulers. Then we are manufacturing many other things for measurement, like measurement tape. This won't get perished. We are going to produce it. The standard units for measuring it, like stones, we use weighing scales, electronic weighing scales. So the units are not going to vanish suddenly, and they're easily reproducible. Okay, it should be easily comparable with other similar units. Like it should be, say you take some units, and if you measure them with other units like foot. Yes, in USA they measure with foots length, and in here we measure with meter. So it should be comparable. We should be able to derive foots from meter and meter from foots, or else it would cause confusion between the people using two different systems. Then next point, 6 point, its size should be such that the quantities measured in it should not be too large or too small. Like for example, the unit, say we take grams. It's a normal standard unit. We don't if it goes above a certain limit, we take kilograms or decagrams, hectagrams. That is further, that is system of units. So It shouldn't be the quantities measured in it shouldn't be too large or too small. It should be moderate. It should be readily available. Like you can go anywhere and buy a plastic ruler, or you can buy meter tape. Anywhere it is available. So that's the main thing. So the Conference General des Podas et Measure (CGMP) or other similarly known as General Conference of Weight and Measure has authority to decide units by international agreement. It has been decided that this certain body will be able to establish units, standard units for our measurement. There are two types of units: fundamental units and derived units. Let us see about them in the next slide. Physical quantities. Physical quantity. What are physical quantity? What is the definition of it? Any quantity which can be measured is called a physical quantity. Okay? Any quantity which can be measured is called a physical quantity. So, in physical quantities, there are two types: fundamental and derived. Let us see what those mean. Different names: fundamental, derived. Okay, so fundamental quantities. The physical quantities which do not depend on any other, please pay attention here, do not depend on any other physical quantity for their measurement are fundamental quantities or base quantities. They are alternatively called as base quantities. So they do not depend on any other quantity for their measurement. And what are fundamental units? The units which are used to measure fundamental quantity. Simple as that. Are called fundamental units. So these are in the textbook, the MSBT textbook. The example is given of RGB, red, green, and blue colors. These are called basic colors, primary colors. Using these colors, you can derive many other colors like violet, pink, many other colors can be derived using the combination of these colors. So similarly, these fundamental units, quantities, can be combined together to form many other quantities which are called derived quantities. Let us first look at the seven fundamental quantities. The seven fundamental quantities are length, mass, time, temperature, electric current, luminous intensity, and amount of substance. Their units are given side by side: meter, kilogram, second, as we all know, Kelvin, ampere, candela, mole. And their symbol, which we used in as a, you can say it is a short form for using. Like we don't write METRE, meter, METER, meter. Every time we write 7 meter, we use M, small m, or we use kg for kilogram. There are also two supplementary quantities: plane angle and solid angle, which unit are radian and steradian. Okay. Derived quantities and the unit. Derived quantities are similar to the fundamental quantities, but the main difference between them is that the physical quantities which depend upon one or more fundamental quantities for their measurement are called derived quantities. Okay, do you get the point? See, fundamental quantities. What was the definition? The definition was that fundamental quantities are the quantities, physical quantities, which do not depend on any other physical quantity. And what is the definition of derived quantities? The physical quantities which depend upon one or more fundamental quantities. You see, the one or more fundamental quantities, depending on one or more fundamental quantities, is the main distinguishing feature between derived quantities and fundamental quantities. For the measurement are derived quantities. Derived units, it's same as the units used to measure derived quantities are called derived units. Okay, you can also, it can also be defined as the units which depend on fundamental units for their measurement is called as derived units. Any definition is good, but I prefer this one. It's short and simple. Other than the seven, now you will ask the question that which are the derived quantities. Okay, the answer is very simple. Other than the seven fundamental quantities which you mentioned earlier: temperature, mass, time, length, amount of substance, intensity of light. Other than those seven fundamental quantities, all the other remaining quantities are derived quantities. So, other than seven, all of them are called derived quantities. So this leads us to this end of this chapter, the end of this video. The chapter is too long. So this is just the second point of the chapter. I'm coming up with the next part soon. Till that time, stay tuned. If you liked our video, please share, subscribe, and give a like, thumbs up. If you found any, if you want to give any suggestion for us to improve our videos, do tell us in the comment section. If you have any doubts, please tell us in the comment section. We will do our best to solve. Thank you.